and Carmelized Pony. Say hello to the people.
Ow. So, dudes,
Hello, hello.
did you say ow?
Yeah, I hit my ear on my fucking headphones. You can look at
Yeah.
the stream. You can see that I look
Podcast
stupid.
jitters.
You know what I'm saying? I look real stupid, and I'm a dumbass. So, I hit myself sometimes. It's all right, though. It's all right. There's no need to be concerned. But how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Awesome,
Okay,
awesome.
man. Always good.
Right. Ponies, you were just in Outworld Television, and you did really, really well. How was that for you?
It was kind of weird, man, because first started off with the bad signal for some reason. The ping was mad bad, and I never get that. And then everybody thought it was me, so I was like, oh man, my first little debut already got bad traction. And then
Already got the bad rep.
afterwards, yeah, afterwards it just got kind of good, but overall the dude fought through it, and then I started like figuring out how he played, and then it just turned out to be like, yeah, because he won the first match, and then I adapted pretty well after that. So man, it just felt good to be looking at him in like slow motion kind of. I'm like, oh, okay, I
Right?
got this.
You beat him 3-1, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This guy,
And I
man.
went the whole day thinking I was about to lose, honestly, because I had played everybody and never won a game.
And then when the one that you needed to win, the one live in front of fucking 800 people or whatever it is that Outworld pulls, like that's the one that you won. And that's what I keep saying. I'm like, dude, Ponies is actually pretty good. Like the problem, and this is something we were talking about before we went live, is I was saying Ponies' problem is like you fight out your weight class. Like you fight with like guys like me and like ATL and Sizoth, and then you get wrecked, and then you think you're not good, and I'm like, dude, it's fucking Sizoth. Like he fucking sweats my ass out, right? Like it's ATL. Like he gives me problems, and I give those guys problems. Like we're playing on a very different level. And I was like, if you played people that were actually like with your experience level, like you'd actually wreck them. Like if you were playing people who just started Mortal Kombat with 11, like you're on a whole other level than most people who started with this game. And I'm like, you don't understand it. You don't recognize it. You don't see it.
I see my ass get whooped.
Yeah. But I mean, if you fought people that had your experience level, you probably and that's what happened in Outworld, right? They probably put you with somebody who's not bad at the game, but probably came to MK11 to start and then got into fighting games from there. So you look at it, it's like an opponent with an equal experience level, and you just fucking wreck them. 3-1.
They actually. I don't know.
A 3-1 victory in like a competitive setting is like that's getting absolutely wrecked. Like that's a download, right? Because you're saying he won the first match, and then you just said, all right, I got this guy, and then he never took another match, right? That's a download. That's a shutdown. That's not just a win. That's a fucking crush. Because he couldn't answer. Like once you answered what he was doing, he had no response. It was just like, well, I guess I lose.
Yeah, it's to the point where I could like read every move coming at me. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna block here and duck here. And it just felt good though. It felt nice.
I'm like super like happy and excited for that because you've been chilling around this community for a while and like just getting your ass wrecked, but like still grinding it out, still practicing. And I was like, dude, finally, like all of this hard work is paid off. Like finally he got a win, and it was a win that mattered in front of a lot of people. Like, yeah, okay, like you lose, like you and me play a viewer set, and I 5-0 you, and it's like in front of 20-person audience, and it's like you get all butthurt about it. And I'm like, dude, you got beat by me, who's literally the guy teaching you how to play this game, and you got beat in front of like 8 people. Like, why do you give a shit? And then when you're in front of like 500 people and you're not fighting the person who literally taught you, like you beat somebody's ass, and I'm like, there you go, Ponies. There's your validation.
Yeah, this take loss is bad. That's all. Pretty much always.
Yeah, but I think that like I'm gonna use you as a fucking billboard, man. I'll be like, listen, come to the temple, learn how to play this fucking game, and you can start winning Outworld television sets like Ponies did. I'm gonna use you like you're gonna be my Larry Parker guy, right? It'd be like, Honey Badger got me 2.1 million. You know the story. That's gonna be
Back in
ponies,
2019, 2020.
right? I'll be like, Honey Badger got me 2.1 Outworlds,
Yeah, and it was even cool commentating and all that stuff. I'm getting in that field too, so it works out.
right? How are you liking
Uh,
commentary?
That's fun, man. Like I said, like I never had a Twitter, never had a Twitch, never got into like really competitive games and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm going head first into all of it, and then everybody's receiving me well, so
Well, there you go.
it's working out pretty well, man.
What about you, Outworld? You gonna or not Outworld? Survive. You gonna jump into? You gonna jump on Outworld one of these days?
Yeah, I know. One of our boys, Fatal Cade, who does Fatal Fridays, trying to get his spot in.
Nice.
I just there, there's just times where I'm like, oh shit, am I gonna be busy that fucking day, or am I gonna whoever? Hey, it's the late man.
Tardy motherfucker. We were wondering where you were. Say hello to the people,
Roles that
Kabal
reversed.
Buff's gone.
Yeah, so Survive. You've never tried to do commentary with Outworld? I would suggest that.
No, I've tried, but there was some scheduling conflicts with the with whatever. We were actually gonna have each other on our shows.
Yeah. I would
Yeah,
say commentary with Outworld is a lot of fun. I've done it twice. I should probably do it more. I know if I ask him, like, he'll let me on, but it's just like, it's like you said, the scheduling thing. Like, you know, sometimes I just can't make it, so I'd rather not commit to it than, you know, have to cancel. But, yeah, you should definitely try. I don't know if I would tell you to compete on Outworld Survive. I got to be honest. You may not have a
once,
good.
And I got fucking wrecked by I think it was Cetrian.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you should. You may have a bad experience, but if you were to do commentary, I think you would love it. It's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna be honest right now. Badger is probably the best commentator in Outworld. Like that isn't even a question for me.
Honestly, I'm probably one of the best commentators in the fucking world. That's just me being like humble. No, and like I get it, like a lot of people, cause like I commentated like fighting games for a long fucking time, dude. I like was commentating matches with like Eris in fucking MK9. This is funny because this was something I was gonna bring up on like someone else's show, right? When people are like, talk about your background. Like I was literally at the first MK9 tournament on like when the game came out. Like I don't know about time zones. I know for sure I was in the first MK9 tournament, like serious tournament in California, or at least the West Coast. So like I think it's safe to assume that I might have been at the first MK9 tournament like in America almost, because MK games come out on Tuesday. And Wednesday night fights, when it was first starting out, was literally Wednesday. So the day after MK9 came out was the first big tournament, like Wednesday night fights. It was like a 100-man bracket, like the first night. And I was in that tournament. So like I've been commentating and shit. Like, yeah, I wasn't known. Like people don't know who I am, but I was there. Sabes que I was there. And people don't understand that like commentary requires experience, and there's a lot of people that are really bad at it. Same thing with the game. Like my whole fucking shtick is everybody's bad at everything that I do. That's my gimmick.
That's my gimmick.
It's my gimmick is like and again, it's like one of those things that I was gonna like mention on other podcasts and streams. Was something that I like I was saying is like I feel like right now 2 years into the game people are just now starting to get good. Like most of the people are actually bad at this game, and it's taken us 2 years to kind of understand how this game is meant to be played, and people are now starting to understand it. And like a lot of people don't have any clue like what high level play of this game is like, and how this game is literally the most deepest addicting fucking game at high level. If you don't play it at high level, it's the worst game in the world. Like, if you're playing at an intermediate level, it's literally the worst fighting game on the planet. But if you're playing this game at a high level, this is actually, like, the best fighting game on the planet. And what I mean by that, let me define high level really quick. At high level, right, people kind of, they think high level is like, oh, it's people that are good. Like when Sonic Fox fights Ninja Killa, those are two good people. That's high level play. It's not actually high level play. They are playing at a high level, but that's not why. It's not high level because they're playing it. What makes high level play in this game is or any fighting game, is full mastery of all mechanics, right? So if I can master, like, especially universal mechanics, that to me is high level because I'm using everything available to me at the most optimal way possible. And so high level as defined in this game is anybody who can flawless block at any time, period. So if you can't flawless block reliably, and I'm talking about flawless block in the fucking nooch, like you guys have seen me flawless block fucking Kotal Khan's forward 2 raw in the neutral. If you can't do that, you're not playing this game at a high level. But once you can do that, you're playing a whole new game. Like the depth and everything in Mortal Kombat 11 opens up when flawless block is always a threat at every time. At any given moment, if I press a button, I can be flawless blocked and launched, but I can also do that back to my opponent, and we can both do it consistently. So it changes our mind games, right? It's not like I'm going to poke to get my turn back. It's like, am I going to poke because he can flawless block? Or do I try to flawless block him because he's going to overextend and try to press on his negative because he knows I'm scared of his flawless block? And now there's mind games. Now shit gets really fucking crazy, and neither me nor my opponent knows what the fuck to do, and it gets very, very intense, and like the game is so much fun at that level. That's why I kind of refuse to like really want to play people that can't flawless block. And that was something.
I mean, I kind of feel what you're saying, and I kind of also feel what people are saying on Twitter that mid commanders gotta go, especially in this game. But seeing as how the people that are complaining about mid command grabs can't barely even accidentally flawless block, I don't take them seriously. But like if they could and everything, yeah, I could kind of see it. Because mid command grabs kind of like take away the flawless block mechanic.
Yeah, like if they took away like mid grabs and command grabs, like people that can flawless block and are really good at it just become infinitely more hard to beat. Because like having a mid grab means you can reversal, right? Input reversal buffer your special moves. So like that's why I say Kotal Khan doesn't need a good mid, because he has a mid grab. At any time he can instantly do a very fast mid to check you from mashing. But if his command grab wasn't a mid, then he can't do that, and now he's basically like as bad as Scarlet. You know, like he's got like nothing to contest you mashing on him. And for a grappler, like that's like you should be scared to get in and mash on a grappler. Like if Kotal Khan is in your face, you should be terrified. And the fact that people are terrified to me means that like they nailed that design. Kotal Khan works. If he gets in close, I'm scared. That works. Like if his command grab wasn't a mid and I knew that I could easily avoid his command grab by like neutral ducking, like any other grab, he's not any scarier than anybody else, right? Like what is Kotal going to do to me that like Baraka or Kano or Nightwolf can't do? Like I could just neutral duck his shit. That's why I think all command grabs, except for like certain specific command grabs, should all be mids. I think any command grab that advances should not be a mid. Like Baraka's should not be a mid. Garrus's should not be a mid because they have range. So you're going to be doing them from further back. So like them being a mid is like unnecessary. But like anybody with like a close range command grab, like Nightwolf, like, you know, fucking Kano, Kotal Khan, they should have mid grabs. If they're going to be the grappler archetype, I should be.
I don't want Kano to have a mid grab.
No, I think Kano
Kano's
should.
mid grab, but I mean, Kano's like a man grab, like that shit recovers so fast. You can't punish it if you jump.
Yeah, but think about it this way. Kano's problems are like hitbox issues, but if he had a mid grab, his hitbox issues would be irrelevant, and people could play Kano like at a higher level. Like, yeah, I get that Kano's like irritating. Like when you say something like buff Kano, people are going to lose their shit because they don't like getting caught with fire in the corner and losing 80% of their health. But it's like, yo, dude, you made like 5 mistakes to get put in that corner, right? Kano didn't just put you in the corner for free. His damage output is pretty shitty in the mid range. Like if he doesn't have the corner and he doesn't have the fire and he doesn't have the slime, like he actually hits like kind of a little bitch. So like, and his wall carry is pretty bad. So he's got to get like 3 or 4 good reads. Like it's not like Kung Lao where I touch you, you're in the corner, and you lost 30% of your health, right? With Kano, it's like he touches you with like forward 1, 2, back 2, and it's like, all right, I lost like 15% of my health, and like I'm pushed a little bit to the corner, but it's not anything to worry about. So like people, it's people that are just bad at the game. They want to nerf shit. They're like, oh, Kotal shouldn't have a mid command grab. That shit is cheap. And I'm like, dude, if he's in your face grabbing you, you already lost neutral. Like, you should probably not let him do that.
They always say, make it a high. And I'm like, yo, that'll make this character so bad.
Well, if they made it a high, I don't think it would make him, like, awful. But it wouldn't make him as good as he is now. Like, I wouldn't be scared of it. But I don't think it would make him low tier. Yeah, it'd just be another grab. I don't think it'd make him low tier, but like he certainly wouldn't be as competitive as he is now. And why do people want, whenever a character gets good, why do they always want to nerf them? Like, dude, right now we're sitting at a 3-character game. It's Fujin, Cetrion, and Jackie. That's your 3 characters. That's this game, right? And then you have someone like Kotal Khan who's like nipping at their heels, and they want to nerf him. And I'm like, why? You want to just keep the 3-character game? Like, you should be like, holy shit, Kotal's good. This is a 4-character game. Like, we basically got a DLC because there's another character that's competitive. But no, they want to nerf it. They want to nerf Shiva.
Well, you know, I play Kotal Khan, so I really love him.
But I mean, like,
like
go ahead, say something. I've said a lot. You guys talk.
Go on. I can wait.
I was just saying that, like, a lot of people, like, they don't internalize their mistakes. They just look at the game and they just complain. Like, there are certain things, like, I'm very hesitant to ever call for nerfs or any kind of patching. Like, I really don't like that. I don't really care for, like, balance patches. But, like, there are certain situations, like, Cetrion needs to be adjusted. Like, she's just too much. But other shit, like, people are like, yo, nerf Rambo or nerf Sub-Zero. Like, anybody that says nerf Sub-Zero, like, instantly I'm like, all right, man, like, I can't really take anything you say serious. Like, I can't. Because, like, if you think Sub-Zero needs to get nerfed, then, like, you just have no understanding of this game. Like, Sub-Zero doesn't need to be nerfed. He's irritating to fight, but, like, losing is always irritating. When you get fucking hit with overhead low, overhead low, overhead low, you're like, fuck this game. It's just a coin toss. And you're like, man, Sub-Zero needs to be dealt with. This shit is stupid. It's just Mortal Kombat X. But really, those people are just bad. Because at the end of the day, you're like, dude, it's a 19-frame overhead you're getting mixed up with. You know you can mash. They're like, yeah, but he has this. Okay, yeah, but you could deal with it with that. Yeah, but he has this. Yeah, but you could deal with it with that. Like, you have an answer for everything. Yeah, but he could change what he's doing. So make the fucking read! Make the fucking read. That's fighting games. Like, okay, yeah, he could do this, you could do that, but he could do this, but he could do that. But you can do that. So make the fucking read, commit, grow a pair of balls, and punish that motherfucker. Otherwise, you're just going to get beat by the same dumb shit. It's not like Sub-Zero's 50-50 is like, you know, like back 3 and forward 2, like both start up in 10 frames, so it's hard to fucking interrupt. Like, that shit starts up in 19 frames. Like, nobody has a fucking 10-frame poke. Right? Like, the slowest pokes are 9 frames, which means you still have a 10-frame buffer to just mash that shit out and interrupt him. It's not like forward 2 is like a full screen normal that's hitting you from, it's not like Cetrion standing 1 where he's hitting you from fucking a mile away. Like, he has to get pretty close to fucking land that. If Sub-Zero got close enough to mix you with that overhead and that low, he won neutral. Stick out a button. Don't let him get in your space. That's how you navigate the matchup. If Sub-Zero never gets close enough to mix you up, his tool is gone. And he has slow mids and, like, he has decent pokes, but at the end of the day, what does he get off his pokes? Frame advantage. What are you going to do? Flawless block or mash on his frame advantage, and you just shut down everything he's got anyways. He's still a 2-read character to get damage. He has to make the read on the jail, and then, or make the read on the poke, and then make the read on the jail to get any fucking damage. Unless he's getting a whiff punish, or if you let him win the neutral and get inside and mix you. But you lost the neutral, so you deserve the mix. Don't let him get inside. Everybody's fucking down 3 can stop Sub-Zero from getting into forward 2 range. Every character has a down 3 that if he's walking in to do forward 2 and mix you, you could just stick out your down 3 on his movement and say, yeah, no. But nobody checks movement because everybody's got their head stuck up their ass on like 50-50. This guy, I come from the Mortal Kombat community, and if I can't do an overhead for full damage, then I don't know how to open people up. That's like 90% of the NK community. Like they think that the fighting games are a fucking coin toss or a die roll. And it's like, and they think it's all just reads. Like, oh, it's just reads. It's just reads. And it's like, no, there's like a lot of shit isn't reads. Like most of the shit in this game is not reads. It's like reaction and conditioning. If you condition your opponent, you never have to make a read. I don't need to make a read when I play half of you assholes because I condition you. I make you do what I want, and then I don't have to read because I know you're going to do what I want because you're scared of everything else I've done to you. But nobody plays like that. Everybody's just like, oh, let me go in. Let me just rush down, forward 2, back 3. Let me 50-50 you. Oh, shit, you're Cetrion, and I can't just run in and mix you up and do my combo. So this game is turtly and broken, and you people suck, and zoning is for losers. And it's like, dude, you just have to duck 2 projectiles. There's no character in this game that can zone you for longer than 2 or 3 rotations of their zoning pattern. Like, even with fucking Jade or RoboCop, it's like they can get their zoning pattern, which is like 2 or 3 projectiles, and they can loop that pattern like 2 or 3 times, and now you're in. Like if you just play patient and you block maybe 5 projectiles at most, right? Because you think of a zoning pattern like RoboCop. He puts down the fucking trap and then he shoots the mid gun and then you try to jump over and he shoots the high gun, and that's the mix-up. It's those 3 projectiles, right? So I do those 3, that's 1 loop. I do that again, that's 2 loops. But usually by the time I'm about to do the 3rd loop, you're already in. So like, where is this fucking shit about zoning being oppressive and like, no, you just had to block fucking 3 moves before you could go in and fucking earn your mix-up. And you're just not good enough to block 3 moves and maneuver through them. But like, people complain about that shit. And I'm like, you don't fucking know zoning, dude. You've never. And now that some of you guys have played Guilty Gear, right, and you play Axel Low in that game, you're like, how the fuck do I get in on this shit? I have no fucking clue. He's got like 5 different angles that he's hitting me at, and he can loop all of them back into each other and get like half of my health and damage from full screen. And this character is low tier? How the fuck do I get in on it? And it's like, yeah, because you suck, dude. You play Mortal Kombat, and you think zoning is Sonya spamming onion rings. That's what you think zoning is, and you're woefully unprepared to deal with anything that's more deep or technical than that. That's my hot. I'm gonna get in trouble. I already know, dude. Everybody's gonna get mad at me. I'm gonna get fucking canceled, dude.
Dude, you're already in trouble with confidence.
Right?
Yeah, but the thing is that you're right, though. I mean, I'm fucking trash at this game, but like, you're right.
But it's the thing, and I get it from my own community because like they'll come in and they'll get mad about something, and it's like it's something that I lose too as well, right? Like I'm not invincible, but I tell people I'm like, these are your options. And like, yeah, but this, and it's like, dude, never, ever, like, it's an old movie quote, right? Never ask why, because every why has a because, and every because has another why, right? And I look at it in fighting games of never ask what if, because every what if leads to another I can. And then I can leads to another what if, and it just loops over and over and over. Like, what do I do about uppercuts? Well, you can shimmy and force a whiff and punish the uppercut. Yeah, but like, what if they like read that I'm gonna do that and then don't do the shimmy or don't do the uppercut? Well, then you don't shimmy, you grab them. Yeah, but if I grab them, they're gonna uppercut me. And it's like, then make the fucking read, dude. Like, make the read. Like, I'm sorry you can't come up with a contingency set plan for 5 different options, but this is a fucking 3-option game. This game is literally rock, paper, scissors at high level. It's literally, like, when I'm playing and I'm playing sweaty, I'm literally making 3 decisions and, like, judging from there. It's like, is he going to walk forward, backwards, or jump? What do I do? This is what I do to cover that. Okay, that worked. Now we're on Oki. Oki doesn't exist in this game, so let him get back up. Okay, he's back up. Is he going to walk forward, backwards, or jump? All right, I'm going to punish that. Okay, now we're on Oki. There's no Oki in this game, so just let him get back up. All right, now he's back up. That's literally how I play you guys. That's how I play everybody. That's this game, right? In the neutral. And then once the neutral has been established and somebody has gotten in or somebody has gotten out, then the game starts. And then it's like, okay, now he's in. Do we go for flawless blocks? Do we mash? The game gets deeper there. But like in the neutral, like neutral's not that hard to fucking navigate, man. People act like neutral is some nebulous concept. And I'm like, dude, neutral in this game is really fucking simple.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'm playing Spawn and I have like an option for everything. 3-4, like Sentry, anti-air, 3-4 has amazing range. And even then, like even if I don't use that and I use like I don't know like Rambo or something that's bad neutral, I can still outplay someone just only with neutral. It's
Yeah.
not that hard to play neutral in this game, especially since it's like Badger said, three read is like what do you say like three moves or three options. That's all
Yeah.
that's all the neutral in this game is.
This game
Backup.
is literally, it's literally rock, paper, scissors. Like, that's the whole neutral.
It's rock paper scissors but fancier, dude. Literally.
Yeah.
Last year.
The one thing that I wish they would add to this game that I think would level people up more than anything else, right? This is like people are always talking about what would you do to fix this game, like, and people like, they're like, oh, I would remove Fatal Blow, or I would fix the meter system, or I'd do something on Wake Up. Honestly, the one thing I would add or change to this game that would infinitely level people up to a level that they could not even ever have dreamed was possible is if they added into practice mode hitbox setting. So, like, all other fighting games, like Marvel vs. Capcom has this, where, like, you can go into practice mode and you actually remove the graphics and it just shows you the hitboxes, right? So you pick Doctor Doom and you go into hitbox mode and now you're not Doctor Doom, you're a green square. And when you push a button, it shows a red square extend out of your body, and that shows you your attack boxes. And so you can look at the game not with the distraction of the graphics, right? You're not going to sit there and be like, oh, I want to do the cool kick combo. You're just looking at the hitboxes and saying, oh, this one extends out this far, and this one does this far. And so when I'm at this range, I can do this. And when I'm at this range, I can do that. And you see how the actual hitboxes overlap and the graphics are removed. And if people could play the game like that, like if you just sat there and you played hitbox mode, right? No graphics, no characters, it's just hitboxes and hurtboxes, and you played with your friend and you saw the game at that fundamental level, the neutral will click. Like, it's like instantly. Like, once I stopped looking at the game as, like, right now I have on screen Collector and Scarlet, and Collector is this, and his best move is forward one, and he can do this and this and this, and, like, this is +5, and blah, blah, blah. Right? And that was when I wasn't understanding the game. I didn't get it. I wasn't good. And then when I took away all of that, I stripped away all the graphics. It's no longer Collector and Scarlet on screen. This is player 1, and he has this shape square, and this is player 2, and they have this shape square. And when he pushes this button, this shape square comes out of his body, and this person, and then bam. It all made sense. And I was like, wow, the neutral is actually just rock, paper, scissors. Am I going to put a square here where you are, or are you going to back up and punish my square? Are you going to jump over my square that I'm sticking out and then hit me in the head? Or am I going to stick a square up in the air and hit you in the head when you try to jump? And that's it. I'm just reading. Is he going to be where my square is, or is he going to try and avoid it? How do I stop that? And if they added that, then like Fatal Blow, Wake Up, Breakaway, like all these mechanics people are complaining about, they all end up being very like irrelevant. It becomes irrelevant once you play the neutral at its most basic fundamental level. Then you don't worry about that, right? People are like, Fatal Blow is stupid. And I'm like, Fatal Blow is literally an advancing attack that does about as much damage as a 1-bar combo. So, like, if they landed the hit, right? Say we took out Fatal Blow, right? We removed it. But characters that, like, like you're fighting a character and they got that touch and they did that much damage on that touch anyways. What's the difference between me pressing 10 buttons to get that damage for a combo and me pressing 2 buttons to get that damage for a Fatal Blow? There's very little difference, because at the end of the day, that damage was irrelevant if you never hit me. So the fact that you earned that hit in the neutral and landed that hit, it doesn't matter if you press 5 buttons or 1 button to do that damage. I still got hit in the neutral. Like, I still got hit. So Fatal Blow is irrelevant if you understand neutral. Like, it's not scary, because you're not like, oh, I got to watch out for Fatal Blow, because in the neutral, I'm like, is he going to walk forward and hit me? Well, he's Jax, and that's what his Fatal Blow does, so that's probably what he's going to do. I'm going to defend, and then you blow it up. It's like, oh, is he going to move forward and advance on me with a fucking attack? No, it's Frost, and she's full screen, and her Fatal Blow advances on me. So basically, it's the same concept as a forward advancing attack. So, like, what is my options? I can't block it. I can't do anything. But it's not like she's doing something when she does full screen Fatal Blow to catch me on a whiff punish that, like, breaks the game. Like, it's a forward advancing attack. Every character has that. Hers is just from full screen, and it does fucking half of my health and has armor. But the concept of her attacking in a forward direction instead of retreating or evading is the same. She's not doing anything different. So like that read, like losing out to that damage on that read, like what would people be satisfied with if fatal blows require you to play DDR? Right? Because that's what combos are, is DDR. So now when I land the fatal blow, it's going to come up with a bunch of button prompts with a timing thing. And if you don't DDR, if you don't play this rhythm game, then your fatal blow fails and they escape. That's literally all a combo is, right? But you still landed that hit in the neutral, right? That's where the work is. And that's where everybody gets it wrong. They think the work, the time, the practice is in the lab working on setups, frame traps, flawless block, combos. No, that's not where the work is. The work is literally in the neutral. Don't let him hit you and hit them instead. That's the hard work. People don't understand that.
I mean, like, you can lab whatever you want. You can lab the most guaranteed setup. That's 100%. But if you can't prevent up the opponent with that set, with a move first, what the fuck is the point of doing it? With the labbing?
Right? Boards don't hit back. Boards don't hit back, guys. You know, and it's just too many people are like really bad at this game. I've been saying it for like the longest time, and like it just seems like a broken record. Like people are they're not just bad at this game. They're just bad at fighting games. But like for some reason people have this false sense of like I'm actually good and I know how to play, and it's like no, you're not actually good and you don't know how to play. And that's why I can take someone who's never played a fighting game in their like seriously in their life and teach them, and then now they're going on to Outworld and beating people in front of 500 fucking fans. Like Ponies, you probably won that match in front of a bigger audience than I've ever fought in front of. And all you did was just like practice and like learn the neutral the right way, basically. Like I'm not trying to be humble anymore. Like I teach people the right way to deal with neutral. Okay, I learned neutral from fucking Alex Valle and fucking Mike Watson. Like they taught me neutral. So like until you can succeed at fighting games at a level that Alex Valle and Mike Watson cannot achieve, like if you're ever proved that you were better than them in their prime, then yeah, you can tell me about neutral. But until then, I'm going to stick with the people that taught me because quite frankly, they're fucking world champions, you know?
Yeah. What you mean? I'm a natural, man.
Fucking this guy, I'm a natural. Fucking gold dust. But I just feel like right now is the point where people are actually starting to understand the game. To me, in my opinion, like nobody knew how to play this game until now. And very few people right now know how to play this game. But like if people like understood this game at like that level, they would find that there's actually probably more depth here. Like this game has more depth to me than Third Strike. I know that's going to get me in trouble.
More depth than Third Strike too. Flawless block, just flawless block on its own. It creates so much more mind games than not having flawless block, dude.
Well, Third Strike has the parry mechanic. The problem with Third Strike is that, like, because of the parry mechanic and you able to gain meter by whiffing normals, it makes the game very, very dry unless you play Yun, in which the game is, like, whiff some normals until you can basically touch a death them with a full wall carry. So the game actually has, like, very little depth at, like, high level. But, like, parrying and some of the Gene Jin combos are pretty hard, so people think that that game is godlike. And I'm like, actually, it's a pretty simple, like, dumbass baby fucking fighting game compared to like other fighting. I think there are fighting games with way more depth than Third Strike. Third Strike is a 3-character game about whiffing normals and fishing for parries. Like that's not very deep. You know, like CVS 2 has way more depth than Third Strike. See, like I stopped talking for you guys to have an opportunity to chime in.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just keep
I
talking.
was waiting for Survive to say something. He hasn't said like anything.
Who hasn't said anything? Ponies?
No, sorry. There was a lot of noise going on in the background.
Well, I already
No,
told you
I
half the
know.
things you truthfully don't know much about. So.
I mean, that it's fine to say you don't know something. A lot of people don't know how to play fighting games and are really bad. And like, I think that's why I keep saying that I'm really bad. And you guys give me a hard time about that. You're like, yo, but you're not actually bad. You're actually really good. And I'm like, no, it's a humility thing. Like if I sit here and I 5-0 like a bunch of people that I just taught how to play the game and I start thinking I'm fucking hot shit, then I'm going to step into the ring with somebody good and they're going to fuck me up because I have the wrong mindset. But as long as I keep myself humble, I can go in with a decent enough mindset and not get my own self mind fucked by my own arrogance and lose. Because a lot of times that happens. It's a very slippery slope as like a competitive player to not let that happen, you know? Like to not let yourself fall into that trap where you start thinking you're hot shit.
I know nothing about the minus and the plus. I just know I need to press buttons when I need to press it here.
That's the thing is you
Yeah.
don't need to know frame data. Frame data, like, honestly, frame data is unnecessary. It really is. I don't think, like, people give
That's
Tekken a lot of
cool.
shit for not having frame data and charging $4, and they praise NetherRealm for putting the frame data in the game by default, and I think that's really cool. Like, I do not want NetherRealm to take out the frame data, but I don't think you need frame data to be good at fighting games. It helps. It certainly helps, and at high level, it helps a lot. But like I said, Mike Watson from Super Arcade, literally a national champion. I mean, this guy competed with Daigo in his prime. Like he competed with Daigo, John Choi, Alex Valle, like literally the legends that our fighting game community was built on. Like he competed against them. And he admits he never knew any optimal combos, never knew any frame data, never knew any of that shit. He was like, dude, all I do is play the neutral and just fucking sweep and grab. He's like, I have like 2 or 3 combos that I learned from like watching someone else in the tournament and saying, oh, that works. All right, I'll do that next time I play. But other than that, it was just like, play the nooch. Play the nooch. Don't let him hit me.
Pretty much how I play. That's how I play. Just usually execution-wise, I'm not that good.
But like, you don't need that stuff. Too many people think that you need that stuff, and it helps, but like, you don't. Kabalsak doesn't win matches because he memorized all the frame data. Like Kabalsak's knowledge of frame data and optimal combos is like has very little to do with him beating people. Because he even said, he's like, dude, when I play Spawn, I just spam 3-4 and then hit confirm for combo. Like, where does frame data come into play in that whole statement? It doesn't. It has nothing to do with frame data. He's spamming 3-4 and you're walking into it and he's hitting you with a combo. He didn't need to know frame data to know that. And yet here he is wrecking people with Spawn all the time. It happens every fucking day.
I just know, like, in my eyes, it's just I'm not good enough to learn that shit. Like, what was it? Like, whenever I got on tier stream, like I was fucking ass. Like, but now, like, I'm trying to learn how to be better and shit. Yeah, like, here's how I look at it. My fucking sub and Scorpion are literally the bottom of the fucking barrel compared to like probably everyone else on the beef sets. Like, I mean, fuck. You have Kabalsak running Sub-Zero, basically the same thing that I had. And he's doing like, you know, not like the fucking mixes and shit like he's a fucking crackhead, but like, you know, he's playing neutral and shit and learning how to control the area. Like me and him did like a mirror match on Fight Club, and it was like we were just hitting each other, and it was actually really fun to do that shit.
Right? Like,
I just know
Yeah,
I'm just humble
like,
enough
it
to
was
know
so
that I'm
cool.
not fucking good.
well, I mean, Kabalsak has a firm grasp of like understanding of neutral. Like that's why he's able to go on to like Biohazard stream and like compete with him. Like he doesn't beat him, but like Biohazard's not winning for free either, right? And it's just all fundamentals. Like he's playing Biohazard at a fundamental level and like just playing the nooch and seeing success with it. And to me, that's like the internalization of like all the lessons that I try to teach people is when you go out there, right? You fight someone other than me, fight someone better than me and use the things that I taught you. And then when you see that they work, you're like, holy shit. Like I literally just fought Biohazard, the best Kano in the world. And like all I did was play the nooch the way Badger told me. And it worked. And I was able to get like around. And then he outplayed me. But like everything I learned worked, and it's like that to me, and that's why I keep telling like people that learn on my stream and learn how to play fighting games. I wish you guys would go out. Like Ponies, you're going out into Outworld. Kabal you're hopping in everybody else's stream. Survive, you run your you run your King of the Hill. I'm like, dude, you got to go out there and play other people other than me and my community, because then you can see these concepts in action, right? Because if you're playing against me, obviously I'm going to fight you the way I taught you to fight, right? So you're never going to see it in action because you're just me and you are just doing the same thing to each other. But when you go and fight somebody who doesn't have that understanding, or when you fight somebody who's on another level, like when you fight someone like Biohazard who's on another level, that's when those lessons start to tick, because you're like, oh, okay, I see this person who didn't learn the way I did, and he's doing all of this. Literally, like playing the neutral and fundamentals, like the way I teach people is like the way Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in like revolutionized martial arts, right? Like everybody thought this is how you fight and this is what you do. And then the Gracies came in and said, actually, no, like this is where like 90% of all fights end up on the ground. And so this is how you win a fight, because it's always going to end on the ground. And these are our ground moves. And then the Gracies and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wrecked everybody. And now like you can't even enter the UFC without at least being familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I look at like the way I teach people neutral and fundamentals and seeing that carry over to like pro players. I'm like, yo, dude, like, this is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu of Mortal Kombat. Like, you thought that this is how it is, but this is how it's actually been for 1,000 years. And, like, you don't know that, and the people that do are just going to wreck you for free.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you see, I don't know if you saw it or not, but like, I know, like, not that long ago you hosted Harper Lord, right? I asked for a SSD before you joined, or before you hosted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. I don't know if you saw it or not, but like, after once I like started playing neutral and actually trying to outspace him and everything, I just wrecked him. Like, I wasn't even trying like the first 2 games or whatever, because like I know Harper Lord, right? I mean, he's good, but like he's not. You know, he's not like godlike or some shit. He's real. Again, I'm not downplaying him or any of his victories. He's an amazing player, but neutral is just really important to learn. And if you don't have it, then then it's really easy to just get pissed off in the game.
Well, the thing about players like Harper LARP is like he's kind of what I look at as like the average NetherRealm player. Like they again, and this is why I fight so hard to make sure that we understand our vocabulary and our definitions, because he knows a lot of shit, right? He knows the game. He knows a lot of stuff, but because of like the way shit was explained and the way he learned fighting games through like the way people in the NetherRealm community teach and learn and understand fighting games, he's kind of got things like a skewed, twisted view of how things work. And so like at the end of the day, Harper LARP is one of those guys that like he knows all the optimals and he knows the frame data, and I'm gonna beat him with sweeps and grabs. And so it's like I'm not trying to downplay his ability or his knowledge and understanding, but I mean I've watched him play. He knows a lot and he's actually like pretty good, but like his understanding of neutral is skewed. And so, like, he's like a YouTube warrior. Like, he'll do some really, really cool shit if I let him open me up, but I can literally beat him with sweep and grab and jump kick. Like, if I wanted to, and I've watched him, like, play in Combat League, and he's fought, like, these Combat League scrubs, and you see people that are just mashing in his face and doing jump kicks, and, like, I understand when there's, like, lag involved, there's nothing you can do, but I've watched matches where there wasn't any lag, it was a good connection, and he gets beat by, like, some silly Combat League dumb shit, and I'm like, yeah, man, he's getting out-neutraled by this idiot who, like, does nothing but, like, jump kick and, like, mashing uppercuts. And that's where I think the frustration in the community is coming from, is people are like, yo, dude, I spent like 500 hours in this game. I know all my optimal combos. I know all my options. I know all my setups. I know how to play this game, and yet I'm getting beat by this scrub lord shit. Like, this guy's just doing jump kicks, uppercuts, and fatal blow when he's losing. And I've lost to that. And it took me a long time to internalize what the fuck is going on, right? But I'm getting beat in fundamentals because fundamentals are so like simple. It's so basic that any idiot can understand. So the moron Scorpion player in Combat League who's just doing jump kicks and spears and teleports is beating me because he understands the fundamentals of fighting games better than I do. My head is filled with a bunch of bullshit on like frame data and combos and traps and shit that I'm not playing the game at the basic core fundamental level. And he's outplaying me at that level to where I can't even use my cool shit, right? Your YouTube combos don't matter if I keep sweeping you, right? I'm losing at a fundamental level, and I can't do any of my hot shit, and I don't know why I'm getting my ass kicked. And it took me a while to understand that. I was like, I'm getting out neutraled. I'm getting beat by this guy who's literally doing the same thing over and over. And people are like, oh, but like, it's because this game is broken. Like, anti-airs are bad. You could just jump kick for free. And it's like, no, you can't jump kick for free. Like, anti-airing, I don't think they need to change anti-airing. I think anti-airing is fine. Anti-airing actually does not need to be touched at all. In my opinion, if they made anti-airing better in this game, it would make the game worse. Like, by far. Like, it wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be close. If anti-airing was better, then this game I would drop. If they buff anti-airs, I would probably drop this game. Because in the neutral... What's that?
The only thing I changed about anti-airs is like I'd rather like make them have like 6 frames to be flawless waffle, because I think they're still like 3 frames or whatever it is.
No, there's 6 frames.
You know, like how they did.
No, there's 6 frames now. Mm-hmm. Jump-ins you can they're easier to flawless block.
They made the window better, yeah.
Yeah, they made that was one of the things. And then that was when they added that property to like rain and like rain's hydro boost shit. They made that a universal thing. So that way, anytime they're in the air, you have like a better opportunity to flawless block. But the reason why I think anti-airs shouldn't be changed is because if you understand the neutral and you see what kind of like space control people have, like, dude, if Spawn could anti-air you, you would never get in on him. Like, if they made a universal anti-air mechanic, like if down twos just like universally had like invincibility, like you'd never get in on Spawn. And then people are like, well, yeah, but you could balance it to where, like, Spawn, his anti-air sucks, right? You just say, oh, well, he's good in the horizontal range, so we'll make his anti-air suck. But, like, no, dude, if he had a consistent anti-air, you'd never get in for free. Right now, jumping is kind of random. It's kind of Wild West. There's kind of a mix-up meta to it, right? Because if they jump in with, like, a jump 1 or jump 2, those are easy to anti-air. If they jump in with a jump 3, those are fucking damn near impossible to anti-air, but your payoff is different, right? Getting a full jump 1 or jump 2 means I get a standing, grounded, unbreakable combo, right, for big damage. Yeah. If I get a jump kick, I can maybe get a juggle depending on the character and the angle I hit you. But for the most part, I'm either getting a jump kick or a jump kick and a special move. So, like, the risk versus reward is there. And the mix-up in the mind game, like, dude, jumping is, like, used to not be a mind game. And in MK11, it is, right? There's actual, like, mind games in it because it's not consistent to anti-air. If you play Street Fighter and it's like, okay, like, if you have a character with good anti-air, it's like, my anti-air is standing medium punch. So, like, at this range, if you ever try to jump, I push this button and then you're negated, and now you have to get in some other way. And that's why matches get really fucking lopsided in Street Fighter. But in Mortal Kombat, it's like, okay, my best anti-air is fucking standing 2. But, like, if you go for a jump kick, it negates it, but your damage output is less. But I can just block, and I can flawless block and punish all the options, right? If you could just get good at flawless block, right? Heaven forbid anybody use a mechanic that's, unique to the game. But, like, there's an actual mind game because people don't look at jumping as, like, part of the mix-up, right? When you jump, you lose your ability to block. So jumping is moving forward or moving backward. It's moving without the ability to block. So it's very high risk. And in the case of jump kicks, very high risk, low reward, right? So, like, if you could just anti-air that shit, like, super easy, you know how hard it is? Dude, Shao Kahn would be the best character in the game if anti-airing was consistent.
Yeah, I usually get more frustrated at myself because the way I play defense...
I didn't believe that because Shao Kahn already has one of the best anti-airs, stand 1.
Yeah, like, Shao Kahn would be broken. Like, you would never be able to beat this character if anti-airs were consistent. But people don't look at that. They don't look at the game as a whole, as the whole ecosystem of the game, right? They don't look at it as like, okay, this matchup affects that matchup, this move affects this move. They're like, yo, man, why come when I pick Shao Kahn, I can't forward 3-4 in combo? This shit's dumb. Shao Kahn's the worst character in the game. And it's like, no, you're just really bad. Like, dude, if anti-airing, like, I get it. It sucks getting jump kicked when you made the read. You're like, he's going to jump kick, and then you miss the anti-air and he gets you. Like, I get that it sucks, but you're not looking at the payoff. It's like, what did he even get, right? You're mad that you got jump kicked, but, like, he did 50 damage, and, like, you're knocked down, and you're at advantage when you get knocked down because of the Oki system. So, like, him jump kicking you actually put you at advantage. Like, he actually helped you. Why are you mad? It's because you're bad at the game and you don't realize you're fucking winning. You don't realize you're winning because he landed a jump kick. But like, no, you know,
Yeah.
I have no idea what
Oh,
I'm talking about because I've never fucking took top 8 at fucking Aquaman's online tournament. That's the thing that frustrates me the most because like everybody, all the people that I bring onto my stream, all these like high level players, they're people that I met in offline. Like Lanky and S Tier Gaming and Sizoth, they're doing their own thing, right? Like S Tier is blowing up. They're getting clout. They're getting respect. They have people applying to join S Tier from like Africa and like Europe and shit, right? They don't need to come to my stream and fuck with me. Like, what do they have? What does Lanky or Black Lynx or Sizoth or any of those guys have to gain from like coming to my stream and playing with me and my viewers? Nothing. They're trying to build their brand and their empire, yet they still come. I don't pay them for this, right? So there's a reason. It's because they know, right? They know if they come in to my stream, like me and my people are going to try and give them some good fucking games. I earned that respect in offline. I can't earn that respect online because I refuse to play in online tournaments. Like, I just don't want to do it. It's stupid. But, like, offline, when I played offline and I played competitively, I earned the respect of all the players. All the notable players in my community, I earned their respect because they saw how I actually play. So I can confidently say that I'm actually kind of good at this game. But most people are not. Like, it's funny because like I always think of myself as like I know I've named my chat this a couple of times, your favorite streamer's favorite streamer. But it's like all the like I don't get any of like the scrub lords that come and watch my channel, right? Like there's never like I don't get like 500 viewers like spamming emotes and like having a good time. Like the people that come to my channel and like watch regularly, like creative royalty is like never not watching my channel. Like literally one of the best collectors in the world who could enter like, you know, he could go on to Aquaman's tournament. He can go into like, you know, Destroyer's tournament. And yet he comes into my beef set league and like fucks around with us. And like, to me, that's telling that literally one of the world class best players in the world would rather hang out with us. And so I try to tell people, I'm like, yo, dude, like you guys are a lot better than you give yourselves credit for.
Oh no, I know I'm good. I just know that everyone else is bad.
Right?
I can't say it's bro.
This guy. Run the set.
Right?
Yeah, my creative's free as fuck. Ducking me and shit.
Everybody be ducking Cabal Sack's laggy ass. Fucking duck that shit. But you know what? Once you
Dude,
play
I don't
neutral,
duck, yo.
man. Go ahead.
Everyone fucking ducks Kabbalsack. I'm over here like, you know what? I'll give fucking $5,
Exactly,
but
Kabbalsack,
goddamn
who
it, at
does
least I'll
that?
fight for it.
Nobody
That's
ducks
weird.
Cabal Sack because he's good. They duck Sizoth because he's good, but nobody ducks Cabal Sack because he's good. They duck Cabal Sack because his connection is shitty and they're frustrated because they actually think they actually respect him and they actually know that he's good and they want to test their skills against him, but you can't because the connection is so bad. So every time you lose to Cabal Sack, it's like, fuck, dude, I could have outplayed him, but our connection is so bad, and now like I'll never know if I'm as good as he is or better. And so it's frustration. People are like, I'd rather just like hold the L on him saying I ducked him than not know whether or not I could beat him. You
I
know,
just want to go on record. Never duck Sizoth.
I don't duck
Dude,
any
I'm-
player.
I'm gonna start not fucking ducking. I don't want to say I'll probably get one win on him,
Yo,
but
yo, you could do me a
Okay.
favor, duck Sizoth.
I don't think you guys
Yeah.
understand.
What?
I was gonna say I don't think you guys understand like how lucky you are, because like I understand that I'm lucky that I live in Southern California and I have a pretty vibrant, active, very competitive scene, and so like I have something that a lot of people don't have, and that's kind of led to how I've been able to get good at these games. But I feel like a lot of people in this community don't understand how like really fucking privileged they are, because here in SoCal, like people literally beg Sizoth for sets. And he turns people down like all the time. Like he literally just won't play with a lot of people. And a lot of people were shocked that like Sizoth actually plays like in our community like regularly. And I'm like, dude, you guys like you don't understand how like well respected and renowned Sizoth is in our community, where people wait in line to get their ass beat by him. And he shows up in here and you guys fucking duck him. And I'm like, this is why you guys are struggling. Because you literally have a world-class, like, top 8 level fucking basically pro player willing to play with you and teach you, and you're ducking him. And that's why you'll never be on his level, because you duck him. And I did the point thing in the league to try and encourage people, so that way you guys would understand like literally what you have on your plate. Because there are people in like other scenes and other communities that would dream of having a guy like Sizoth on deck to just do sets. But people duck his ass, and I'm like, keep ducking his ass. He's going to keep winning, and you're going to keep being shitty. And like the person that gets it, right? The person that gets it and says, dude, like I am blessed to have access to Sizoth. I'm going to take advantage, and I'm going to do sweaty sets. And I tell you, after a couple of weeks of doing sweaty sets with Sizoth, those people that didn't will never touch you again. Like you do some sets with Sizoth, you will level up to the point where no one else is beating you because they didn't.
It's so funny every time I challenge him or we play each other, he's like, "Sorry, Pony," before it even starts.
Right? But like the thing is that a lot of people get mad that he's so fucking sweaty, and I'm like, dude, you should be glad, because that means he respects you. Like when ATL just kind of jumps around and does uppercuts and trolls people, like when Holy Dragon is like teabagging like full screen and just kind of being a cock ass, like that's like the mark of a lower level player. Because like Sizoth, you don't see him do that. He respects every player as if you were fucking Sonic Fox, and he plays you as if you were fucking Sonic Fox every fucking time. And a lot of people get frustrated. They're like, this is bullshit. Like this guy is like try-harding, and I'm just casually trying to learn this game. And it's like, dude, he's doing that because he respects you, and he thinks that you have the potential to be on that level, so he's giving you his best. And like people don't see that.
The only difference between that and between Sizoth and me is that I'm gonna teabag Sonic Fox as well as you.
Well, and I mean, Sizoth will teabag, but the thing is, Sizoth teabags like in a match, like he'll teabag at the end of the round when he's like absolutely like crushed somebody, or if like you're trolling him, he'll troll you back. But like he never goes out of his way to belittle his opponent. He always like, yeah, he belittles his opponent by just fucking him up. But, like, that's what you're supposed to do in the game. Like, he's respecting you as a competitor and playing you as if you were a viable threat. Like, to me, that's, like, the biggest compliment that a guy like Sizoth could give you. Because he's saying, you actually could beat me if I don't play as hard as I can. And people aren't seeing it like that. They're like, oh, he's just a try-hard basement virgin who does nothing but play Mortal Kombat, and he's just going to beat me up because he plays Mortal Kombat 20 hours a day. And I'm like, actually, I play Mortal Kombat more than Sizoth, and he wrecks my ass. Like, he has a girlfriend, and he goes to the gym and has a job, and I don't have any of those things. I just sit there and play Mortal Kombat all day, and he fucking wrecks my ass. So, like, you can't use the basement virgin try-hard shit on him. Like, I've met the guy in real life. He's not a basement virgin try-hard.
Here I go thinking he's sandbagging me when I went around or something.
That's the thing, is he never sandbags. I've never
Like,
seen him
yo,
sandbag.
Let me win, didn't you?
I just wish I had a fucking active community down here.
Someone like him is the opposite of me, because I'm almost always sandbagging. I very rarely go hard. It's because I get exhausted, like, playing my ass off. So I try to just save that energy for, like, when I need it. So like I almost always sandbag. It takes a while. It takes a lot for me to like really play someone serious, and Sizoth just does that all the time. But Sizoth is also like fucking way younger than me, man. I'm tired, dude. I smoke a lot of weed. I'm old.
It's just like I just wish I had an active fucking local community, dude. Like you would think me living near Cincinnati, like there would be like some poppin', dude. There's barely fucking nothing here. And now that, and that was like pre-COVID too. Like, you know, you hear of all this shit like in New York or New Jersey and shit or SoCal, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, I live in one of those big cities that doesn't fucking have jack shit. If anything, it's all for Smash Brothers and that.
I would
shit
say
because
that
no one
that's
likes
your
MK11.
fault. I would say that that's your fault then, because so here's the deal. A lot of people think SoCal is like basically this one big nebulous FGC like playground, but it's actually not. When people think of SoCal, they're actually talking about Los Angeles. And Los Angeles got lucky because of Southern Hills Golf Land. They got lucky that like Mr. Wizard owned that, and that's what started Evolution. But like for the most part, like my local scene in the area of Southern California that I live, I'm about an hour or 2 hours away from Los Angeles. So like I have to travel to like all those matches. Learning under Alex Valle, I would put in like 4 to 6 hours of travel time both ways to be able to like just see Alex Valle in person. But my local scene, like we have some killers here in my area of California. I live like in the desert part of California, right? And we have a lot of killers, and it's because we built our scene. Like Raiko-sen, literally, like the guy that comes in, and I always talk about how great he is. Like he literally like turned his living room into video game night every night for like years. Like I'm talking like 10 years. That was the place to be. Every week, every weekend, every Friday night, we went to Raiko-sen's house and we played fighting games till 4 a.m. And every time we met somebody that liked fighting games, hey man, you like fighting games? You should come to my friend Raiko-sen's house and you'll have a good time. And then they come and they meet everybody and they have the time of their life and they play fighting games. And we wreck them, right? We'll fucking 5-0 everybody, right? Oh, you fucking work at Walmart? Oh, I'm going to fuck you up, right? We would fuck them up, but they'd come back. And we built the scene slowly but surely. And I guarantee you now, if Raiko-sen, he hasn't had casuals in like a while, but I guarantee you if he said, I'm having casuals at my house tonight, there would be 50 people lined up in front of his door. And it took us years to build that. But like if you don't have a scene, like that's your fault. You should build it. You should be opening and inviting to people and saying like, hey man, like, and again, if you don't have a venue, like I'm not saying it's easy, right? We were lucky that Raiko-sen, like, you know, when we were fucking 19, like he had a house that we could use. But like if you build it and you search it out, man, like if you just say, hey man, like come over to my house and it's just you and one other person, and then that's your community. And then you find another person, and then you find another person, and then those people bring more people. Like people are always asking me, like, how the fuck did you build your channel the way you did? Like I struggle to get like one viewer, and you just turn on your camera and like 20 people show up. I'm like, yeah, because I got one person, and then that one person got one person, and then that person got one person, and it grew out from there. And you just do that offline. Just do that with your local scene. You live in Cincinnati, there's like, 2 million people or whatever that live there, right? How many of those people bought Mortal Kombat? It's not easy, but you can build the scene. People think that SoCal like was just like this, and it's like, no, dude, we fucking built it. Like how many times, how many times did we have casuals and like only one person showed up, but like we had them, they were there, And how many days where it's like, I don't want to fucking have casuals at my house, but it's like, oh, if I don't have casuals, then no one's going to host them, and then the scene will die. Because it only takes 1 week of not doing it for people to forget, right? But if you build it, they will come.
Well, a person like me legitly learned
I
this
just
year.
don't have the house or the funds.
What's
I have
that?
no friends that play.
Just make friends. How many of you motherfuckers knew me before this stream? Like, none of you knew me. Kabalsack's in fucking
That's
Macedonia.
online.
It's not online, man.
I'm
You
talking
just
about everybody around me, literally, legitly. I don't even think I know one person that plays MK besides me.
you could get
around
people to
me.
play with
Dude,
you though.
no. Anybody that I know, like, and mind you, like, I was trying to do this shit back in fucking high school, and the only people that played Mortal Kombat was literally my friends who didn't even play like fighting games. They fucking hate fighting games, and I tried teaching them, like, look, this shit's actually fun. Like, yeah, you get your ass beat a couple times, but that's the fun of it. And then they're just, nah, I'm gonna go back to Call of Duty or Siege or some
Play
shit like that.
Madden.
God,
Yeah.
fucking damn.
Then I feel like
Wanna
that's
play
like, not to be like mean or anything, but that's a failure on the teacher's part if the student does not understand the material to the point where they can find enjoyment out of it. Like you look at like you put it in the context of any other teaching, like math, right? Like nobody fucking likes math. That shit's fucking boring. But like you always remember that one teacher that was so dope they made you like math, right? And so when you're trying to teach fighting games, you need to be that teacher that is able to teach people to like math. Otherwise, it's not going to work. But then when you get that teacher that is like dope and you end up liking math and you're like, wow, math is actually pretty dope, right? You're like, holy fuck, this shit is actually, it makes sense and it's not boring and math is actually pretty fucking cool. And it all came down to that one teacher that was able to break it down. So I feel like when people are like, I tried to teach my friends, right? They're like,
yeah, I've never tried.
I try to teach my friends. I feel like, well, if your friends didn't understand the material, then it's not your friends that's the problem. It's your material. Damn, y'all got like super quiet. I didn't mean to put it like that.
I can see your mouth moving sometimes, but I don't see them.
I didn't like mean to like be mean like that,
No,
but like
trust
that's
me, I get it.
I'm
like
not worried.
because
I travel a lot, man. Like honestly, I have really no people to just hang around and be like, "Yo, let's play MK."
See,
I
that's
just pop up.
I'm lucky that I came from the SoCal community and I hang out in I want to say a more urban community, right? I hang out with a lot of black people is what I'm trying to say. And that's one of the things that has made the fighting game community in Southern California so tight knit and so much fun is because a lot of like our fighting game culture is really just urban black dude culture, right? Like it's just and so like the hype, the rowdiness, like I mean, have you ever been partying with a bunch of black guys? It's the most fun you're ever going to have, right? Like and so
Yeah,
a lot of that like black culture, I hate using the word urban culture because like it kind of it shortchanges, like dude, black people made this shit fun, give credit where credit is due, right? So like a lot of it is like just black culture has kind of made the fighting game scene what it is in SoCal. And like if you have a bunch of guys that aren't like getting loud and fucking crumping in between fucking matches, and I've seen that. I've seen somebody take a round and then pull out a boombox and start literally crumping. Like, yo, dude, you got crumpled, so I'm crumping. Like when you have that kind of a atmosphere, like you can't help but fucking have the time of your life, right? And I feel like a lot of scenes don't have that. They don't have that atmosphere,
Thank you for the buff.
right? Well, no, but I'm saying like, dude, if you go to a party and someone starts doing, or you go to a casual session, right? And it's just a bunch of fucking clown ass motherfuckers like dancing and high fiving and having the time of their life. You want to be involved in that. And that's how I built my channel. I was like, dude, I could sit here and be like every other MK streamer and be like, that's +5. And here's follow-ups or this and this and this and blah, 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 blah. And like, that's cool. People will learn, blah, blah, blah. But if I sit here and be like, yo, Pony's got hit with an overhead, he a bitch ass. People are like, yeah, that shit is funny. Yeah, that shit is hype. And that's literally like what the culture is in SoCal.
Get hit with overhead though.
Right? That's like our culture in SoCal though, is like, and I think I've told this story on stream before of like how I got really, really involved with the Tekken community. Is like I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom and I was at Super Arcade and I'm just kind of like frustrated and salty and getting my ass kicked. And like I looked at the Marvel vs. Capcom community and it's just a bunch of like basement virgins like quietly staring at computer monitors. I'm like, man, these guys are like boring as fuck. And then behind me is some loud ass motherfucker making fun of Indian people. And everybody's laughing and have a good time. And I'm like, who is this racist motherfucker making fun of Indian people? And I turn around and it's Just Frame James and he just blew up Rip at fucking Tekken 6 and they're talking shit and Rip is so salty and Just Frame is like making fun of him and everybody's hugging and having a good time. And I'm like, these guys get it. I need to play with those guys. Like, they're having the time of their life. Like, Rip just got beat. He lost. And now Just Frame James is making fun of him for being Indian. Like, you would think this guy would be miserable. And look, he's smiling and laughing. And this is the most funniest thing he's ever seen. I was like, I need to be a part of that. I dropped Marvel vs. Capcom literally that night. I haven't touched that game since. And I went right to Tekken. And when I was in the Tekken community, I saw how fun and hype it was. I was like, yo, dude, I'm bringing this shit to Mortal Kombat. I'm bringing the Tekken community experience to Mortal Kombat. And like, that's how it started. And if you're trying to build like a scene, like you've got to bring the hype, man. You got to have fun people. Nobody wants to sit at your house while like you and like two guys are quietly poring over frame data. But if you're in there and you're talking shit and you're just like, yeah, man, Kabbalsack, you fucking suck and your Melina's trash and I'll beat your ass. And then Kabbalsack's like, no, fuck you, dog. Eat this command grab, asshole. That shit's fun. And that gets people wanting to play fighting games. And it's all thanks to black people.
I think we're all nerds. Basically, we're all nerds essentially, but you can't just act like one.
Right?
Nah, I'm the biggest nerd.
Don't just be sitting there like, oh my god, that was cool.
Dude, you know what's funny? Like okay, so mind you, I live in fucking Kentucky and shit. So like all we have is practically white people. Like I think like one of my
he's like sad now. He's like, god damn it, we don't have any black people in my neighborhood. I can't play Mortal Kombat without black people. That's what Badger said.
Like one of my friends is a nerd and shit, and of course he's like me, he's mixed and whatnot. And like that's the only fucking black kid that we had in the fucking community was my boy Cole. But then like whenever I went to Combo Breaker, I was like, holy shit, dude. There's a like there's so much like diversity and shit like that. I was like, dude, damn, I've been over here with
Just
fucking white people and shit. And like now that I went to Chicago to Combo Breaker, now there's like every fucking buddy. I was like, dude, I'm actually digging this shit.
Right? You get kind of surprised, like, and that's why I always make fun of like the kind of like woke, like pandering bullshit, because like people are talking about like, oh, blah 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 inclusivity and diversity, and I'm like, fuck you, dude, I'm FGC, man. I've been playing fighting games with Mexicans and black dudes like my whole fucking life. Like, get the fuck out of here with your diversity. You don't know what you're talking about, because we've been diverse from the start. We have always, you black, white, Mexican, Chinese, I don't give a fuck. Okay, your Shao Kahn is free. I'm going to blow you up. You better come with it correct, right? Like, that's how the FGC has always been. And, like, get the fuck out of here. Don't come in here and try to pander to my community and shit. You're not one of us, dude. Racism has, like, as far as I know in SoCal, and again, I never lived in New York. I've never lived in Georgia. Maybe it's an issue there. But here in SoCal, dude, racism has never been an issue in the SoCal scene. Maybe it's because we're in California and, like, we got everything here. But, like, we do our fair share of shit talking. No one's ever had a problem with racism as far as I've seen.
Whoever flies into the country goes straight to California.
Dude,
Every time.
I tell people what I'm mixed with, and they're like, dude, what the fuck is that? I'm half Honduran, and it's like, I tell someone that, and they're like, what is that, like some part of Mexico? I'm like, no, that's like...
It's like a whole other country that's like 500 miles from Mexico. You're probably closer to Brazil than Mexico, right? Honduras?
Yeah, it's a little bit like more fucking south. I want to say it's like right next to like El Salvador and shit like that.
Yeah, like I think Honduras is actually closer to South America than North America. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know geography though, dude. I smoke weed. But yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like if your community is like boring, like liven it up, talk some shit, make fun of somebody. People will have a good time. There's a lot of confidence issues. I don't know. I never had a problem with confidence issues. People are like, dude, you just called your biggest fan an asshole. I was like, yeah, he's being a dick. They're like, I could never call my fans assholes. And I'm like, I don't know, man. They call me an asshole back. It seems fair. It seems fair. Kabalsat calls me a fucking pussy, and like, I call him an asshole. It seems to work out fine for us. Our dynamic doesn't seem to struggle because of it.
I mean, if someone's being an idiot, you can just you have to make fun of them for being an idiot. Don't care if some bloody white girl's blue hair is gonna come in the chat and say, "Oh, but that's like racist or some shit."
Right? Unless it's a black dude. If you're gonna make fun of a black dude, you better come with some good shit, dude. Because I'm telling you, they're quick-witted. They're gonna destroy you. If you have like corny shit talk and you try to use some corny ass lines on a brother, like that's it. He's gonna end your whole career. You better be good at the video game by that point if you're gonna have some corny shit talk.
Yeah, don't get ATM.
Right?
Man, we're so lucky to live right now, dude. I can't fucking imagine how hard it would be. Like, not even that long ago. Like, even when MK11 released, MK9 released, it would be a fucking nightmare for you. Like, try to learn neutral and shit.
Well, the thing about MK9, you guys look at MK9 and as it ended, right? So I was with MK9 at the start.
Fuck MK9.
Like, none of you guys were in MK9 when it started, before we knew about player one advantage, before we knew about the glitches, before we knew about Cabal, right? Before Kenshi was released. Kenshi was the first DLC character. The game, like, was actually pretty fucking godlike. It's all the other shit around it that, like, ruined it. But, like, yeah, when the game first came out, people played the neutral. People, like, had fun. Like, it was just like a regular fighting game. And then we discovered the bullshit, and then it just devolved, right? It de-evolutionized to the bullshit. But before then, like, those first couple, like, the first 2 months of MK9, like, that game was so fucking godlike. dude, we were all addicted and hooked. Like, they were onto something special. And I think that's why a lot of people have problems with, like, NetherRealm games, because if they would have just tightened up and refined what they did with MK9, people would have thought that NetherRealm is the best fighting game developer of all time. And they've kind of gone in that direction with 11. 11 is kind of a refinement of what they learned with 9, but they changed a whole lot of shit, too.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Like, I think if you guys played MK9, like, without the bullshit, you'll find that it's actually pretty fun. It's the bullshit that ruins that game. Every game has bullshit, but MK9's bullshit was fucking absurd.
Speaking of, bring Cyrax back.
Not MK9 Cyrax. Fuck no. MK9 Cyrax is absolutely the most terrifying grappler I've ever seen. He had a command grab that led to an 80. He was like not even, you wouldn't even think of him as a grappler, right? Like half of his game plan is putting bombs on the ground and like catching you with a net from full screen. But like when you play Cyrax at high level, you're like, yo, dude, this is like Zangief on crack. Like he's way scarier than, people are scared of Kotal Khan's mid grab. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how scary a grappler can be. Because Cyrax could get 80% of your health and put you into a restand off his command grab. So basically if he grabbed you once, you were dead. Kotal Khan can't do that with his mid grab. No way. He's got a mid grab you like fucking 6 times to kill you with that thing.
Unless you get hit by 402 over and over.
Even then, he's not doing 80% on a touch.
I just don't get how people in like, it's not even the fucking like Mortal Kombat community. I just don't get how people can be like, you know, this game is fucking broken, man. This is fucking bullshit. And then they're like, you know what? I want to play some Mortal Kombat 9 or Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, you know,
right?
That shit was pretty fine. Like, bro, what?
Right?
I'm hating seeing every video say on YouTube, this is broken. Like that title is getting on my nerves. Period.
Right. The issue is. The issue with that has very little to do with anything wrong with the game and has everything to do with the fact that like people, they don't, it's not that they don't like broken shit, they just want the broken shit that they're good at, right? Like, oh, okay, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is broken, but I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for like 20 years. So like I know how to fight that broken shit. So like I think that game is better. Mortal Kombat 11 is broken, but I don't know how to deal with its broken shit. So, like, that game is trash and scrubby. And it's like, no, you're just not good at it. Why can't people just admit that they're not good?
Still don't understand it, honestly.
Yeah, Badger, why can't you admit it you're not good?
Right? Ponies, just give it up, dude.
I totally suck at this game, and I'm still playing it as hard as I can.
Right? You guys are like super quiet today.
Also, I started off with a whack character.
Right now, so like I can't really be loud or something.
I can't really be mad at anything because everybody says my character's broken, and I was like, dude, I suck and he sucks. So fuck y'all.
Who character? Collection?
Kotal Khan. Yeah.
He started playing Kotal when Kotal was bottom tier. No, but he played Kotal. Dude, he played Kotal before Kotal even had Variation 3. Like, he was really bad back then. He had no ticks. The grab wasn't. Was the grab even a mid back then? I think they buffed it to make it a mid. Like,
no, it was a mid.
Okay, but he had no He had no ticks, like none.
But all his frame data was pretty messed up, and like everything was bad.
Wasn't like forward 2 like 25 frames on startup or some shit? Like it was like
exactly.
obnoxiously bad. And Ponies played Kotal Khan back then.
And then I still played him.
Look, if I'm being honest, the only person that's allowed to say that something is broken is Shao Ming. Shao literally has just worse skills than other characters. His stand 4-4 plus he can block is blockable while Scarlet's isn't, while also being slower. His 4-2 is high and it's slower than Cole's 4-2.
I just can't really say anything's broken. I like stuck with a character, and then now everyone's saying he's broken. So it just kind of like what?
I mean, just run with it. You won the lottery. Your favorite character's top tier. Like, you should just be happy. Some people get mad. They're like, my character's top tier. I quit. And I'm like, what? You should be glad, dude. If my favorite character was top tier, oh shit, I'll win every competition.
Like you never want me to be good at
Yo,
this
not
game.
gonna lie, if Spawn was top here, yeah, I'm not gonna drop him, man. I'm not gonna drop MK11. That would be just so fun.
Right?
If what?
He said if Spawn was like top tier, he would still play
Oh,
Spawn
I'm gonna see if that's Spawn. I like
because he
Spawn
just
though.
loves Spawn. Well, we're
I can't say much.
Man,
Everybody
I've been
hates
waiting
my
for
fucking
Spawn
character.
since MK9, even before I even knew how to play fighting games. Now that he's out and I know how to, I'm not dropping this man. He's gonna be my main forever.
Yeah, that's pretty much my point. Cause like Kodokan, I didn't know how to play, and I was like, "Yo, this character's cool as fuck." And then everybody's like, "He's garbage. He's garbage," and I was like, "It's pretty cool to me." And then
right.
the buffs came. And then,
What's funny is that like everybody was playing fucking like stand or the fucking tournament variations, and I'm over here just actually playing the game because I wanted to fucking do custom variations. And then once like custom variations was a thing, everybody was like,
I already knew
"Well,
everything. Yeah.
Scorpion and Sub can have this shit," and it's like, dude, that's the way
Yeah.
I've been playing for fucking a year now.
Right.
Maybe when
Yeah,
NetherRealm
they
says
don't
that they're
get
gonna
everything
fucking.
right.
I mean, NetherRealm, I believe, said that they were gonna put fucking custom variations in like the in the shit, and like nobody believed them, and then they actually put like custom variations in the fucking tournament scene, and it's like, oh shit, now we don't know what to fucking do. All this shit's broken now, and it's like, no,
Well,
it's not.
no, everybody
It's
found
just the same.
everybody found it. They were like, "Oh, we got customs. Is everything going to be broken?" Nope, it's still just Cetrion and Jackie.
Yeah, it's just the same. Yeah.
It's the same characters. They added customs, and the top tiers did not change. It just solidified them. It was like, oh, Cetrion and Jackie are just now more top tier than they were before.
I mean, like what they did is that they made the fucking top tiers even more top tier with even better customs. While they left the bottom tiers like Shao Kahn and RoboCop just completely trash. And when there's characters like Scarlet that aren't really trash but need buffs, they just ban her best move.
I don't think Scarlet is really all that bad. I think like.
Oh no, I didn't say she was bad.
But I think people are like. There's a lot of.
Not really good.
A lot of pussy ass players like use Scarlet as their crutch. Like you beat their ass. I've noticed this with Scarlet players more than Shao Kahn players. Right? They'll beat their ass and they're like, "Well, I was Scarlet," and it's like, dude, you option select an ass motherfucker, dog. Scarlet is not that bad. She is actually quite good and effective. But like, I beat your ass because you're bad at this game. But like, you're playing Scarlet and using that as an Scarlet players do that more than anybody else. You don't see that from any other low tier community. Like you don't see RoboCop players like when you beat a RoboCop and they're like, "Yeah, well, I was RoboCop." Like, Scarlet seems to pull out the most pussiest fucking people on the planet.
Some people say Scarlet doesn't even need
like the people who downplay Scarlet are like the people who don't play her, or the people that play her but aren't good.
Yeah.
Like the top tier fucking Scarlet players, they say she's fine.
Like,
Yeah,
she's not perfect. They say she's got problems, but they're like, yeah, she's not unplayable.
Yeah.
She's actually
A
effective.
couple less they said a couple less gaps, and that's good. But her moveset and everything is perfect.
Yeah. Like, but Scarlet mains, they just seem to be the biggest fucking pussies on the planet. Because, like, everything that happens, it's always because they play Scarlet. And it's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Then don't play her. Well, I want to play her. And it's like, well, then you just want to lose. Like, you're not playing Scarlet because you think she's good or you want to win. You're playing Scarlet so you have an option select when you get your ass kicked. Because, like, pretty much everybody considers Devora to be one of the worst characters in the game. And I fucking sit there and I'm like, dude, I'm a Devora main and I will wreck your shit with Devora. I'm not scared. Pick your fucking top tier. Pick your fucking Fujin. I will fucking wreck you with Devora.
I never really paid attention.
I mean, even
to
like
stuff
Honeybee, like these many tournaments and shit with Devora. What's your reason for Scarlet not winning tournaments? Like Scarlet isn't even as bad as Devora, I'd say.
I think Scarlet's actually
even
probably
then-
better than Devora. Even though I made my tier list that put Devora higher, I honestly think Scarlet's better.
Everything.
Oh no, Devora is honestly like if I say personally, I think she's bottom 5.
Yeah,
Matches on Fight Club then.
I think Devora's actually like I would say that Devora is probably either equal to Shao Kahn or worse than Shao Kahn?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Because Shao Kahn can at least steal a win with like Unga Bunga damage, whereas like Devora doesn't have that opportunity that I can't just like steal a win. You know what I mean? Like Shao Kahn can get that one random forward 3 charge that you were trying to flawless block and then fucking catch you on your breakaway and hit fatal blow and like there's all your health and he stole a round. Like Shao Kahn has that. Devora doesn't. It's like, dude, if I try to steal a round, what am I going to do? 30%? Like I can't even consistently combo into fatal blow off of one standing hit. Like I think Devora's actually worse than Shao Kahn in some respects.
You may be right, sir.
I mean, like, generally, I'd say that the bottom 2 characters right now are Rambo and Shao Kahn, then Melina, and then Devora.
I think Melina's better than
Yeah,
Devora.
Rambo?
I think Rambo's better than Devora.
No, Rambo just loses to jump-ins.
He
Or
loses
just
to
normal neutral because
he
the neutral
loses
just
to
sucks.
jump-ins,
Not
but he
doing
can.
enough, damage.
But the thing is, in his core kit, he can deal with shit. Like if I play Devora and I don't have the right, like if I don't have Widow's Kiss, like I just get zoned. Whereas at least with Rambo, like the fucking trap is like universal to Rambo. So like even if I don't have the right build, I still have like basic tools to deal with basic functions. Like he has a base, it's not the best tool to deal with zoning, but he has a tool to deal with zoning. With Devora, if I don't have Widow's Kiss unlocked, like equipped, like I basically have to hold all zoning, period. Like I can't deal with an entire play style without customs. That's why I think Rambo's better.
Yeah, you can't just do that to him. He gets you with the trap when you way across screen, or
And I'm not saying that the trap is good. I'm just saying he has the option. Like Devora doesn't have the option.
It's just the fact that he can
I
do
mean,
it.
Dude, even if you want to make that argument, I'd still say that Devora is better at dealing with, sorry, no, that's not what I should say. I'd still say that Devora is much better at up close than Rambo, because Rambo, everything is unsafe. He has to make so many reads just to get in.
Are you
And then
telling me
even when he
Devora's not unsafe with no mids, and my only way to contest mashing is to do down poke into a special move that is minus 19 on block unless I amplify it, in which case it's minus 4 and my turn is over?
Well, at least you have that shit.
Like I don't even have that.
He gets flawless block. Like 4-1-2 gets flawless block, he gets full combo punish. Rather than not by Devora because it's minus 10. And then they're scared. And then there's back two, which is like the range of Fujin's down 1.
But I'm just saying, like, you have options. They may not be good options. I don't even have those options. Like, if I want to contest mashing, like, I have to hope that you don't block my special move. Whereas with Rambo, it's like, if you want to contest mashing, you hit forward 1. And then hit confirm. Right? Like, at least you have a mid to sit there and say, yeah, stop
not
that.
Even close. 4-1-2 is flawless blockable, and you get punished.
You know, I didn't say forward 1-2. Never said forward 1-2.
Yeah,
I literally said forward 1.
I mean, I understand what he's saying.
You're going. You're.
Exactly
Yeah, but you're going further than needs to be. If somebody's mashing and I want you to stop mashing, I'm not hit confirming for a combo. I'm hitting forward 1 to stop you from mashing, and then I will use the plus frames. If you were mashing, I'll use the plus frames to press my advantage. But for the most part, like, I'm not talking about forward 1-2. I'm not talking about forward 1-2-2. I'm talking about forward 1. It's a 10 frame mid. If you're mashing, I can push that button, and now you are stopped. With Devora, if you're mashing, I have to hit down 1 and cancel into OV. And, like, if you block it, I can die or I have to spend bar. Whereas, like, Rambo, he has a safe, fast mid. Like, I can throw out forward 1 to stop your mashing, and if you block it, I just don't push any more buttons and block myself. I don't have that option with Devora. I have to spend meter for that option. And that's a very, very important option.
On its own is punishable, but I'm going to live with this. Why the hell should I do forward 1 instead of down 1?
Because forward 1 doesn't require you to... Forward 1 advances, so down 1 will get shimmied. Forward 1 walks forward. So the idea is it covers 2 options. It covers them mashing, right? It covers them neutral ducking and looking for a grab. And because it moves forward, it stops them trying to shimmy for like a poke punish. So it covers like a lot of options.
I mean,
as a single solo move.
If you have like the last forward 1, but like Rambo's doesn't reach that
It reaches far enough. Like, it reaches far enough to where, like, if you're trying to backdash, because when you're looking at people doing a micro backdash to shimmy, it's not like they're letting the backdash rock. They're, like, barely moving in an imperceptible way that you don't even see them dash half the time. Like, you telling me, like, Sub-Zeros are, like, letting that backdash rock? No, they're hitting back 3 to where the dash hardly comes out. They're moving, like, pixels worth of space. So I don't need something that advances, like, Noob Saibot's forward 2. I need something that will hit you if you're, like, 3 pixels away from down 1 range, which forward 1 will do.
Kaballin gonna make me start playing Rambo again.
You should. But we're at an hour and a half into the stream, so any final comments? We should probably wrap this up, right?
Yeah, man, why not? Basically, love Rambo since we're talking about him. And that's it for me. I don't know. I don't say much.
Awesome. Perfect thing to do on a podcast is not say much. Kavalsag, Survive. Did they leave?
Follow me if you can. Carmelized Pony, since I'm still here.
I think
Twitch,
Survive got
Twitter.
DC'd.
Upcoming player, upcoming commentator, upcoming streamer,
Right?
still emo assassin, forever and always.
Kavalsag, final thoughts? I think he's gone too. Him and Survived, like their mics went out. Well, we're going to call it there, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Those of you who have joined in on the podcast and those of you who listened at home, appreciate it. Always fun. I always enjoy doing those, although I ended up soapboxing a lot. I always end up soapboxing. I try to shut up as much as I can and let you guys talk, and then you guys get quiet.
Oh yeah, Buff Total has totems.
Right?
We need more than damage totems.
Right? All right. Well, I'll see you later, man.
All right, man.
All right, bye. I can't believe this. I just realized right now I forgot to record the fucking podcast. I forgot to record. So I'm going to turn off the stream so that way I don't have to download a 5-hour VOD. I'm going to turn off the stream and restart it. Refresh your browsers. I got to piss. Give me a sec.